Good morning, everyone. Okay, today I'll be teaching you another method of your simultaneous linear equation. So today we'll be discussing something called your cross multiplication method. Okay, so let's see how do we solve questions on a simultaneous using cross multiplication method. So let's take an example where two equations are given. So let's say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So we have equation 1 as this and we have equation 2 as this. So the first and foremost thing that you have to do in your cross multiplication method is you'll have to bring each and every term on one side. That means right now we bring everything towards the left and then we write the entire equation equals to 0. Now what do I mean by that is like this. So let's say the first equation is this. So I'll have to write it as 3x plus 4y, and then I bring this side, it becomes minus 10, and then I write equal to 0. So we'll have to modify the given equation in this form. Now sometimes, just to confuse you, it may already be given in this form. If it's already given in this form, then we don't have to make any changes, but majority of the times they'll give you this. So when it's this, we'll have to bring everything on one side, write other side equals to 0. Same thing we'll do with the second equation. So we get 2x minus 2y minus 2 is equals to 0. So now this is my new modified equation. This is what we'll focus on. Now in your cross multiplication method, okay, the most important thing is now we will be focusing on only the values along with x and y. So in mathematics we usually we consider the coefficients, but some of you may get confused with that word called coefficient. Like if I have 2x, we'll be only focusing on the number that is along with x, that is your 2. Okay, and every time when we do this, we'll have to take the sign also into consideration, and actually in maths we call this as the coefficient of x. Okay, so like if I have minus 3y, then I'll be only focusing on this one. So we call this as the coefficient of y. Okay, so that way. So each and every equation, what we'll do is, each and every, not equation, term, we will only focus on your coefficients or the values along with x and y. Okay, so that means our main focus will only be on the numbers, not on the variables. Okay, and then in this one, what do we call it? We usually call this one. Okay, so let's first, before we call them, let's only focus on the coefficients. So when I just take out only the coefficients, or in simple language, if someone gets confused, it doesn't matter, don't have to remember the word called coefficients. You only focus on the you can say values or the constants. Okay, only on the numbers, you can say. So these are the various simple terms that I'm using instead of coefficient. So now if I just focus and I said with the that means signs, I said, so that means my main focus will only be on 3. My main focus over here will be on a plus 4, and will be on, this is just a number, it doesn't matter, so that means its number is number, minus 10. This I don't have anything, forget about that. In the second equation, it will be 2. This is minus 2. And this is again minus 2. Okay, so these are only the numbers that I'll be focusing on. And now, let's go ahead and call this one. This column, will call it as column 1. This will call it as column 2. And then we'll call it as column 3. So if I say what are the terms, not exactly terms, what are the variables, what are the values or the numbers or the coefficients in column 1, you'll say it's plus 3 and plus 2. If I say what are the numbers in column 2, then you'll say plus 4 and minus 2. And in column 3, we'll say minus 10 and minus 2. And at times we also call this cross multiplication method as, we can also call it as, sometimes I also call it as what? I call it as a 2, 3, 1, 2 method. Okay, so I always call it as a 2, 3, 1, 2 or at time. Now why am I calling it as a 2, 3, 1, 2 is because now these numbers stands for the columns. So I'm talking about column 2, column 3, column 1, column 2. Now what do I mean by this is this one. So once you have modified your given equation in this form, and after you have modified, after you have focused on, you don't have to mark like this. It's just to explain you, I have done this. You don't have to do anything directly. From here you can move on to the next step that I'm about to write. So but you'll be focusing on only the numbers, only the numbers, only the numbers, and then you will imagine this to be as column 1, column 2, and column 3. Now once I've done this, what you have to do is from your column 2 you just have to go ahead and write what values do you have under column 2. Under column 2 I have what? I have a +4 and a -2. So you just have to write that. Similarly, under column 3, what do I have? I have -10 and have -2. And in column 1, what do I have? We have 3 means it's a +3. If you want to be more precise, then you can write it this way. And again, column 2, it's a +4, -2. So we move column 2, then we move on to column 3. Since there is nothing this side, then we come back to column 1, and then we come back to column 2. So that means we start from column 2 and we move towards the right, and there's no longer any other column on that side. So we come back to 1, and then we end in column 2. We start and end in column 2. Now once you have done that, so in the exams what you have to do is you just have this given, so you just have to write the modified, and then directly you don't even have to write 2 3 1 2. It's just to explain you I'm writing that. You can directly write the values. Okay, and once we are done with this, then okay, so since we have only column 1, column 2, column 3, okay, so what we have to do is now once we have made this, next thing what you do is you write, first thing you write is x. That's the procedure. You write x, leave a little space, okay, and you write equals to, you write equals to, and you write y, leave a little space, you write equals to. Since because we have x variable, we have y variable, so in the first one we have x, so we write x. Second column there is something called y variable, so we write y, because we need the answer of x and y. And in the third one we don't have any variable, it's just values or numbers, just constant. So whenever it's constant we just write a 1. So after you have written the values under the respective columns, we just need the answers. So we need an answer for x, we need an answer for y, and then we have a, there is in the third column there is nothing, means we just put a 1. Now then we write divided by, then we write divided by, then we write divided by. Okay, now the first thing that we have to do is we go in this direction. So we start from here, and then the arrow goes in this direction, and I'll tell you the meaning of that arrow. So, and the arrow goes in this one. So from here to here, then from here to here, and then from here to here, the arrow goes in this direction. So what do I mean by that arrow is this one. It means that this and this, they will get multiplied. This and this, wherever the arrow starts from and wherever it ends or wherever it's pointing, those are the two numbers that will get multiplied. So I'll write it as, and put it inside a bracket. So it's a +4 into a -2. So +4 and -2 is getting multiplied. Similarly, which are the two ones? Over here, -10 is pointing towards +2. So we'll write -10 into a +2. And then we have a +3 pointing towards -2. So we'll write +3 into -2. Okay, that's the first thing. So we start from here, it goes down. Start from here, goes down. So that means it's indirectly like a cross. Okay, that's why the name is cross multiplication. So it's crossing and then it's getting cross multiplied. Now the second thing, okay, now what we do again, now since we started from the top and we came down, top came down, top came down, now we start from the bottom and go up this way, and then we go this way. What does it mean? Okay, that means this number is getting multiplied with this, this is getting multiplied with this is getting multiplied with that. Okay, that's the formula. But now once I have written this, now the formula is a minus in between, minus in between, a minus in between, and then once I've written the minus in between, then whatever number, like this will multiply this, this will multiply this, this will multiply this. So we write what now? -2 is pointing towards -10. So -2 is pointing towards -10. And -2 is again pointing towards a +3. So -2 is pointing towards a +3. And then we have a +2 pointing towards a +4. +2 into a +4. Okay, so that's the one. Now once we have done this, we just simply have to multiply. So x is down. Okay, I hope this step is clear. So when I want to do this step, so first I go from the top, I go down, top, down, top, down. So I put them inside a bracket, I multiply the respective numbers, put them inside a bracket. And before I move on to from the bottom to the top, I have to put a minus in between. Then in the other bracket, what will I have to do? I go from down to up, down to up, down to up, and then I again multiply, put it inside a bracket. Then I have x, plus into minus will give me a minus, 4 2s is 8, the minus formula as it is, and then this is minus into minus will give me a plus, 2 10s is 20, equals to y. Then I have minus into plus is a minus 2 10s are 20, then I have minus into plus is again a minus, 3 2 is a 6, is equals to 1 is a 1, plus into minus is a minus 6, then minus formula as it is, and then inside the bracket we have plus into plus is a plus, 4 2 is an 8. Okay, so that is what we get. And then we have x over, this is minus 8. Now this minus into plus will give me a minus 20. So I have a y, this minus 20 as it is, minus into minus will give me a plus 6 is equals to 1. This is minus 6, minus into plus gives me a minus 8. Okay, and then what do I get? X. Now there are no brackets, no multiplication. Over here we had a bracket, that's why the signs were getting multiplied. But over here no more bracket, no more multiplication, so the common sign comes in the answer, and then I add, we get this one. Over here we have y, sign of the greater one comes in the answer, and then we subtract. Over here what happens? The common sign comes in the answer, and then I add. Now once I have reached over here, now comes the last part of your sum. So the moment I reach over here, now we do a separation. You don't have to write all this, separation means we separate the x and the y because I want individual answer. So what do I have to do is I'll have to take the x separately, x, and then this one will be common for both. Means common for both means I'll have to take this is equals to 1 over minus 14, and now I have to be separated, and that is again equals to 1 by minus 14. So this is equal to x also, this is equal to this also, and this is equal to this also, because there is an equals to for both. So this x is equal to this also, y is equal to this also. That is how we have to separate. So once I get this much, then we'll write x is equals to that, and y is also equal to that, and then I have to solve it. Now over here it's a normal one line, I just have to cross multiply, but before that minus gets cancelled, and I can cancel this also. 14 1s are 14 2s are so I have x by 2 is equal to 1 by 1. So when I cross multiply 1 into x, it give me an x, 2 into 1 will give me a 2. So x is equals to 2. That's my answer. Is that okay? And then this one, okay, if I want to get y, again before I cross multiply, minus and minus gets cancelled, 14 1s are 14 1s are. So I get y by 1 is equals to 1 by 1. So 1 and 1 we don't have to write, so y is equals to 1. Okay, so this is how we get the value of x and y using your cross multiplication method. So this is also not that difficult, but some of you may feel that it's a little tricky, but it's not that. It's quite simple. Okay, all we have to do is whatever equation is given, you just have to go ahead and first modify it. Means we just have to bring everything on one side, right, equals to 0. So we wrote that, and then our main focus will only be on the constants or the coefficients or the values or the numbers, you can say in simple language, that is along with the x and y, and along with the signs. Okay, and then that is along with x I have 3, along with x2, along with y4, along with y minus 2, and these do not have any x and y, so I just focus only on the numbers. Okay, and then I call these numbers as in column 1, column 2, column 3. Then I have to put them in an order, and the order says it will be a 2 3 1 2. So the column 2, column 3, column 1, column 2. So that means underneath this I need to write the values of column 2, column 3, column 1, column 2. And then since we have 3 columns in actually 1 2 3, so over here also we need to have 3 of them. So for 1 we write x, 1 we write y, 1 we write just 1, because we have an x variable. Okay, because we have values along with x, values along with y, and then over here there are no means no x and y, so we just put a 1. And then once I have done that, then divided by, we always go from the top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. So I write top to bottom means these are the two ones that will get multiplied, put them inside a bracket, put them inside a bracket, put them inside a bracket. And before I move on from the bottom to the top, I put a minus in between, and then I go from bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom to top, and I multiply, and then do the respective multiplication. Be careful inside the bracket, if there is a multiplication, signs will also get multiplied. Bracket also means multiplication, but the moment I'm done with that, over here there is no bracket, no multiplication, so the signs are not going to get multiplied. We normally do our addition and subtraction, and then the common sign comes in the answer, common sign comes in the answer, sign of the greater one comes in the answer. And then once I've reached this, then we have to separate. X will be equal to the whatever the value is, and y will also be equal to the value, and then do a normal cross multiplication, get the value of x and y. Is that okay? So that's it for the time being, and if there are any questions, please do let me know. Okay, thank you very much.